ego and could work around Jordan. Even though I found it interesting in the doc that Scottie Pippen came in thinking it was going to be his team. But he said he realized in the very first year that wasn't going to be the thing. But it wasn't impressive that he found all these people who didn't have egos and worked around Michael. But he ultimately let his ego be the end of a fucking dynasty. Yo, the Bulls absolutely probably would have won 2 more rings.
As many more as MJ wanted to win, essentially. And I think the way that they were looking at it, and again, this is why obviously there was beef between him and Phil Jackson, etc. But this is why coaches make horrible front office employees, if you will. They make horrible executives. Like Doc Rivers, amazing coach. Then he goes to be the exec, and he's shitty at the exec, right? You don't want them in the front office because coaches think in the now. They're like, how do I win in this moment? Front office guys have to think about the longevity of the franchise. So they're going to have to cut some corners. They're going to have to make some moves that the coach might not like, but it's actually putting that team in a better situation for the long run. And I think they were basically looking at, I assume Reinsdorf and Krause are looking at the Bulls and going, look, we're already paying MJ $36 million. Scotty's going to ask for $20 million. I think at that point in time, the salary cap was less than Jordan was making, no? I think we can look that up. Chris,
I think the fact that the salary cap changed is why Jordan was able to get paid so much fucking money.
No, but he was above it. When he was making 36. Chris, correct me if I'm wrong.
I think it was 32. He made 30 one year and 32 the next year. He only had 2 $30 million seasons.
He got 2 $30 million seasons, but I think at that time the salary cap was only $26 million. Am I wrong?
I don't know.
That sounds right to me.
I'm not. Listen, I'm not an exec, but I think you sign.
I'm looking it up too right now.
You keep signing Jordan to 1-year deals, or maybe you even keep signing Scottie to 1-year deals. Like Jordan said the illest shit on that documentary. Jordan said we should be allowed to defend our championship until we can't defend our championship no more. You know what I'm saying? Like no executive should say this shit. Then you decide you want to make decisions. But until then, what the fuck? Like they literally, and I never understood that. That's why this documentary is so intriguing to me. Why? I want to know what happened with Phil Jackson and Jerry Krause. And listen, by the way, you know who should be positively brilliant? Jerry fucking Reinsdorf or whatever his name is. You're the owner, but yet your hands are completely clean. Nothing happens without you.
He threw Jerry Krause under that bus so goddamn fast, bro. I cannot even tell you how fast he threw Krause under that bus, bro.
Brother, nothing happens without the owner. Nothing.
Exactly.
Nothing. The owner co-signed on every fucking thing, but yet, just because this guy is short and chubby, he's easier to blame.
And keep in mind, when him and Krause disagreed about hiring Phil Jackson back, what did Reinsdorf do?
Jerry made himself look like a hero.
He flew to Montana to go talk to Phil and ask him to do 1 more year.
1 year. Not sign him to a long-term deal.
Right.
1 year. 1 year to what? Why would
my assumption is that they knew that Jordan wasn't coming back after that year. So Phil's like, I don't want to rebuild. I'm good on all that.
No, Jordan said it. Jordan said he told them, I am not playing for another coach. Y'all get rid of Phil Jackson. I'm not going to be here. And he said on the documentary, he was like, I shouldn't be put in a position where I have to go through that. So I think
he said that the year before.
No,
right?
he said that 96. Oh, it was right after they won the 5th championship, going into the next year.
Exactly, right? So there was questions whether Phil was going to come back for that 6th championship year. There were questions whether he was going to come back, and that's when Reinsdorf went to Montana. But I don't know if Jordan himself was committing past that year. I think Jordan already had the idea, like, I think this might be it. We three-peat, we get out of here, and then I retire. That's what I'm assuming. Maybe we learn more.
Yeah, maybe it seemed to me like Phil wasn't going to be there, and so Jordan knew he wasn't going to be there because Phil wasn't going to be there.
You know what? And you probably know this more than anybody because you've existed in entertainment where egos bounce back and forth against each other.
Yep.
Ego rarely exists in an isolated moment, right? Ego usually starts to flame and pop up when there's a bunch of different egos bouncing into each other.
Absolutely.
So I don't think it's like it's just Krause. I think you got Jordan's ego, which is deserved. You got Phil's ego, and I think Phil was getting a lot of the credit that Krause wanted himself. Krause is looking at Phil like, motherfucker, nobody even knew who you were. plucked you out of obscurity, and then I give you Michael Jordan.
You did your job, Jerry.
Of course.
You did your job.
So not everybody's egoless, bro. That's the thing. Like, it's easy to be egoless in certain situations and not egoless in others.
Jerry just wanted a fucking shout out.
And you know what?
Literally, that's all he wanted.
And that's why I fucking criticize Phil Jackson, because Phil couldn't do it. Phil has so much fucking ego himself. He called himself the Zen Master, but that motherfucker got so much goddamn ego. You need to kiss the ring for everything. Make Shaq fly out to Montana and move a fucking log in the middle of a lake for no reason. Right? It's like, he got so much ego, he couldn't just go, hey, I wouldn't be here without Jerry. Hey, Jerry did a great job building his team.
He said
hey,
that,
Jerry
though.
found these players. Nah, man.
Yeah, he said that.
He wasn't
saying
it.
You said, you know what it was, though? Like, Phil would say it straight out. Jordan would say it, but then give him a backhanded compliment. Like, even at Jordan's Hall of Fame speech, Jordan was like, I went back and rewatched it, right? Just for better context now, because it's a two-part documentary. Jordan said, Jerry Krause is here. I don't know who fucking invited him. I didn't. And then came back to what he said in the doc about organizations not, being responsible for the fucking championships that the team wins. I was like, wow. He said we give them a little credit because they gotta pay us, but we the ones out there playing fucking ball.
But on some level, don't we agree with what he said? As a Knicks fan, the New York Knicks are trying to get Dolan to sell a team every single year because we're basically saying, hey, organizations win championships, and the leader of this organization sucks, so we won't win one while he's there. So on some level, we agree with Krause.
It depends, though, because you can have, I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan, so I feel like our owner gets in the way, but we always have the talent. I feel like the owner gets in the way because the owner's trying to do too much.
So then you agree. So then organizations win championships or they don't. It's not the players.
I think it's
you got the players, but your organization sucks, so it can't execute.
Definitely playing. I mean, Mark Cuban is a great fucking owner of franchise. And you making money and the stands are full, why do you give a fuck? Like, why did Jerry Krause care that much? That shit, Jerry Krause needed a therapist. God bless the dead. Jerry Krause needed a therapist. Jerry Krause suffered from being short and fat and having to be around all those tall motherfuckers. Can you imagine look how cruel to what ego can do, but also, take those places away from you. Dynasty short. That's what the fuck happened, bro.
100%. Now, I do have a what a fucking idiot.
Talk to me.
Scottie Pippen, what a fucking idiot.
Blank.
Not for signing the deal. Because he was underpaid, but it wasn't that far off from what Jordan was making around that time.
Jordan had an 8-year, $25 million deal.
Yeah, so he was making $4 million, I think, at the end of that deal. And
Jordan's first championship, he was making $2.5 million.
Exactly, right? So they were making so much fucking money on this guy. The only reason NBA players are getting paid what they're paid right now is because of Jordan, right? Like, the way that all these people make money is absurd, That being contract with iHeartRadio, and the show wasn't doing great in the beginning, you weren't going to iHeartRadio, I'd like to give you back a portion of this contract. We're not doing as well as we thought we did.
Yeah.
Right? You're like, this is what you agreed to pay me, so you better fucking pay me for it. And then when it was time to sign a new contract, then you hit them over the fucking head because you go, look what I did. But to bitch out in your last year, that was some sad, over a contract that you decided to sign, that was some sad shit, man.
Yeah, I mean, listen, there's no, I tend to agree with you. Y'all need to renegotiate this shit last year. Play it out, ball the fuck out, and stick them up. That's the whole point. Like you stick them up. You stick them up. You know what you've done there the past 8 years. You know what you know that y'all won 6 championships. They want you back. Stick them up and get what? If they don't get their money else back, anyway. I think Scotty next deal was like $60 million over 3 years with these. Scotty ultimately made more money in the NBA than Michael Jordan did, but that's just long-term deals are tricky, man.
I couldn't believe it. All these people on Twitter that just accepted a $1,200 stimulus check talking about we need to do a GoFundMe for Scottie Pippen.
You're a young kid from Arkansas. They offer you $18 million guaranteed. You never seen that kind of money in your life. Jerry Reinsdorf was you wanted a motherfucker. You're not
really he really said that shit. Do you really think he said to a player, take more money, ask me for more money?
Well, no, he didn't say more money. He just told him to sign a short-term deal.
I don't think he ever said that. I think
people would let that lie fly out there. Not for this guy like that. And but by the way, I think Jerry Reinsdorf is the master at keeping his hands clean. Because in the future, when Scotty's mad, he could be like, I told you not to sign that deal. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's the master at keeping his hands clean. You don't know what you're doing. Jordan was 8 years, $25 million. And you know, that's why Jordan, everybody was mad at Jordan saying Jordan should have stuck up for Scotty. All Jordan was saying basically was like,
motherfucker, I did the same shit.
I did the same shit. I paid my dues. I did the same thing. I had an 8 year, $25 million deal. Play your shit out and stick these motherfuckers up.
Yeah. God, I was so impressed by how professional Jordan was, man. Like, what a fucking brilliant, like emotionally brilliant guy. Did you ever see him waver even slightly in any interview? Like, you look at these guys now today, like a Draymond Green, literally cannot control his emotions for 30 seconds. 30 seconds. Hey, how do you feel about Kevin Garnett? It's like you couldn't button that up for 30 fucking seconds. And Jordan out here with every camera in the world on him for fucking 10 years and never once do you see him slip up?
No, we can't say that.
When did he slip up?
That goddamn Jordan crying face me. That motherfucker, he was past the point of holding his emotions in after when that shit happened.
No, I'm talking about during the career, during the playing career.
Oh, nah. During his career, no. Jordan, his emotional IQ is so high. And to your point about Draymond and them, Jordan had one thing that a lot of these brothers, these young brothers lack. Security. High self-esteem. You know what I'm saying? These brothers are insecure and they have low self-esteem. Every little thing gets to them. Because in their heart of hearts, they feel like the man. Because they getting the money. They might have won a couple of rings. But they're always constantly being questioned. They're always looking at the shit that's being said about them on social media. So they can't unequivocally, without a shadow of a doubt, say, suck my dick, I'm the man. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to tell you something else that Jordan does. When Jordan is getting his ass kicked, when he's feeling that pressure, he goes and does something about it. You know what he does about it? He takes things into his own hands. He internalizes it in his mind and in his heart. You'll see when they show the Pistons kicking his ass. Fuck, I gotta get stronger. Not, hey, Mr. Referee, stop letting these fucking motherfuckers beat up on me. And if you are letting them beat up on me, watch what the fuck I do. Go fucking get strong. So now I can go kick their ass the next fucking year. The fucking coach from North Carolina, Roy Williams. Roy Williams was saying how he said to Michael Jordan, told him, I'm going to be the hardest person that works here, or some shit like that. And Roy was like, I forgot what Roy said. Whatever the fuck Roy said, Jordan was like, I bet you nobody will outwork me. And Roy said
he said, I want to be the best player in North Carolina or something like that. And he goes, well, you got to work hard. He goes, I worked as hard as anybody else in high school. He goes, oh, I thought you said you wanted to be the best player.
Yeah. And he was like, nobody here outworked me. And Roy said, nobody outworked him. Like, yo, that's what it's about at the end of the day. That's the most beautiful thing about Michael Jordan, man. Doubling the fuck down on yourself. Fuck everything else. The only thing you can control is you. You want to get stronger? Go get stronger. You want to get a better jump shot? Go work on that motherfucker. Like, you want to be the best, and make a decision in your mind that you want to be the best, and go fucking put some action towards being the goddamn best. I don't want to hear all these fucking excuses, man. I don't like that shit, yo. That's why I like Jordan. Jordan didn't make no excuses, yo. None.
Just go out there and do it, man. It was, it was really cool to see. I had never heard his parents speak.
Really?
I'd never heard his parents speak. I obviously heard of his parents, but his parents were so fucking sharp, right? Like when you interviewed the mom, a beautiful woman, by the way, to this day, right? Interview the dad. They're both really fucking sharp, right? They're so composed. And it's like you grow up in that environment, you cannot help but take on those qualities and those abilities.
Absolutely.
Right? Like, his mom is so comfortable in front of the camera. Granted, she's probably been in front of the camera for the last, 40 years or 30 years or something like that. But, like, even telling stories, talking, this, that, the other. No nerves. Cool, calm, collected. I mean, I think you must absorb some of that. And it speaks to how Jordan so easily handled the pressure of the media and the pressure of all these things. You know?
I'm going to tell you something else, too. I think another reason that Jordan was able to handle the pressure is because he really didn't have no pressure coming in. Because he didn't come in the guy.
He wasn't, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't come in the number one draft pick that was going to change the league and revolutionize the league. Like, a lot of that shit that he was doing early on was just really trying to show that he belonged. You know, he said that in his Hall of Fame speech. He was like, yo, I had to think, he thanked Magic Johnson, Isaiah Thomas, George Iceman Gervin, I believe it was, because he said he just always wanted to show that he belonged amongst them. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't care. I just wanted to show that I belonged. I just thought that, man, I'm going to tell you something, yo. I can't think of too many Michael Jordans in any profession.
There's a reason why greatness is synonymous with Michael Jordan. There's a reason why if you're great at what you do, you are the Michael Jordan of that thing.
I don't even think greatness is a strong enough word for Michael.
Why do you think Larry Bird said it's God disguised as Michael Jordan?
I'm telling you. Because it wasn't even about the fact that Michael scored a bunch of points. Mad motherfucker scored points. It was the fact that when he said, I'm going to win, he won. Like, talk about that shit like the will to win, willing your team to win. That shit takes
every time you make a plan, God laughs at you. They're like, "Oh, you think you could make plans, right?" So I think we're drawn to these figures. We're drawn to these people that make declarations and then execute declarations.
Because it makes them seem
Say whatever you want.
It makes them seem like they're larger than life. It makes them seem godlike when they do that. It's like they're telling the future.
I remember my father, he used to work in the news business, and he interviewed Muhammad Ali before he was going to fight George Foreman, right? And he's in Ali's locker room, and he goes, "How are you going to beat this guy? This guy is a monster. I mean, he's not only knocking people out, he's destroying them. He's knocking them off the canvas, and then they'll fall down." I think that's what he did to Frazier when Foreman knocked out Frazier. And then Ali goes to my dad, he goes, "You have to understand, like, I'm a cerebral fighter. This is a science. I'm going to tell you exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to beat him up here. I'm going to pick him apart, and then I'm going to knock him out." I'm pretty sure he called that he was going to knock him out.
Yeah, it was crazy. He called Aroun. Definitely called Aroun.
He might even call it. My dad is the biggest Ali fan, but he's still like, there's just no way. He's a big boxing fan. And then you go see someone call out the most absurd thing in the world, and then execute on it. They become God, like Joe Namath. I don't even know if he was a good quarterback or not, but he said that the Jets are going to win the Super Bowl. And they fucking did it. Right? Against all odds. And then they called it football forever.
Yeah,
You can call it out and execute.
yeah, people can tell that story. I mean, even when they showed the documentary on Michael playing fucking golf with Danny Ainge, and he told DJ, "Yo, tell your boy I got something for him tonight." That's after dropping 49, getting 60 fucking 3. Like, I don't know, man. Michael Jordan just different, and no disrespect to LeBron. Stop it. There's no comparison to Michael Jordan. Michael is
seeing it, the way that they view life and the way they view the game, like something that was really poignant that happened in the documentary, right? I think Jordan at some point just goes, what I care about is winning. And winning at all costs.
shut the fuck up. You don't know what the hell you talking about just because we older. We saying that shit because you don't know what the fuck we witnessed.
So that's the thing that's great about this is that all these people, even like sports analysts, realize there's sports analysts that are like 26 years old, 27 years old, 28 years old, right? And these sports analysts that are 26, 27 years old are making statements about whether or not Jordan's a GOAT without ever really witnessing him play basketball.
Exactly.
And we listen to them and argue with them when we should be saying, sit the fuck down, Junior.
Yes.
You don't know nothing about this.
You know what's so crazy? I thought about this, right? Think about guys that are old, like Skip Bayless. I'm talking about these old-ass dudes that's like 70 years old. So they've been around. They were around with Magic and Bird, Michael, Kobe, LeBron. Right. The reason you should really listen to them is because it's not that they're stuck in their ways. Because there was a point in time where the NBA was all about Magic and Larry.
Of course.
Everybody loved Magic and Larry. They thought Magic and Larry was the bar until Michael came around. And this guy was just so good, you had to give it up to him. And he had such a will to win that you just had to give it up to him. You know what I'm saying? You can go to the fucking NBA Finals and you win 6 of them and don't lose. And the only reason you didn't win is because you fucking retired? Like, that's unreal. It's a reason people champion Michael Jordan the way that they do. Right? So if they say, man, Michael's way better than LeBron. Michael's better than Kobe. It's because they've seen it all. They've seen the whole spectrum. You haven't seen the whole spectrum. You saw Bron and Kobe.
Recency bias, man. That's what it is.
Yes. Yes.
We all suffer from recency bias. I've said, I'm sure on this podcast, now LeBron's the best, man. He's the best I've ever seen. But I forgot what Jordan would do, bro. I forgot how terrifying the last 8 minutes of the fourth quarter were when Jordan would come back in after his break and then he just start attacking relentlessly, possession after possession after possession, and you just watch your team's league slowly dwindle away.
Jordan was the real life Rocky, bro. Jordan was the real life Hulk Hogan. You know how at the end of Rocky movies you just knew during that second fight, which Jordan never got to. There was no second fights with Michael. He's knocking you out the first fucking fight, right? Yep. He wasn't even going the distance with Michael. Let's be clear about that. But you just knew Rocky wasn't going to lose. Same thing with Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan getting his ass kicked, and all of a sudden he just... Michael did that in real life.
Yep.
Real life. Like, this shit ain't... You're not winning this fucking game, yo. And I'm going to tell you something else. You brought this point up a few weeks ago about all the legacies that he erased. This is another good thing that's going to come from this documentary. People love to say Jordan didn't have no competition. No, you think Jordan didn't have no competition because he fucking wiped them all out. Yep. He played against the best. The best. Charles Barkley and the fucking Phoenix Suns. Karl Malone, John Stockton and the Utah Jazz. Clyde Drexler, Terry Porter and those guys in fucking Portland. Are we serious right now? Fucking Magic Johnson and the Los Angeles Lakers. Are you fucking serious? Sean Kemp and Gary Payton in the Seattle Supersonics. These are fucking Hall of Famers, man.
Stockton Malone, dude.
Come on, man. What the fuck are we talking about here?
And another thing you gotta understand, right, is that like, so Magic Johnson and Larry Bird blow the sport up nationally, right? So Jordan is actually competing with all the kids who came up watching Magic and Bird.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like when Jordan was competing against a larger talent pool because the sport became so popular nationally because of Magic and Bird. So now you have all these kids that maybe would have tried to play baseball or maybe would have tried to play football or maybe would have tried to do this other shit. They're watching these two guys and going, oh my God, I got to play basketball now. I'm putting all of my talents in basketball. Jordan got to beat those motherfuckers.
Yeah, you know, that shit made me think about Magic too. All this talk of contracts. People forget the deal that Magic signed, bro.
The one about saying he had HIV or the one for the Lakers?
No, that was an endorsement deal. I'm talking about the goddamn NBA. The NBA Magic Johnson had a 25-year, $25 million deal. But he had a clause in his contract that he gets a front office job.
I didn't know that was part of it.
Yeah, he had a clause in his contract that he get a fucking front office job. First of all, what NBA player plays 25 years? I don't even think Vince Carter's at 25 years, is he?
Nah.
So it's like 1 year, 25 years, that's $1 million a year, but you get a front office job. It's like, I mean, I get it was the 70s, but god damn. Was that a lot of money back then, Chris? Absolutely. What are you talking about? Okay, so back then to sign a $25 million deal, that was a lot of money.
But again, he's doing that shit because that's the only way you can make big money. You're not going to make all that money in 1 year. You have to spread it out because the salary cap was probably $10 million a year, or even less back then when he signed that deal. NBA was not a big thing back then. And to put in perspective Jordan's legacy, the finals ratings that Jordan had, we don't even touch today.
Wow.
Think about that.
Yeah.
Think about that. We don't fuck with the finals ratings Jordan had now in the NBA.
What time was different though?
Ever been.
Because all they had was TV back then.
True. That being said, when the NBA finals are on, that's what we're watching. Right? We're not watching reruns of Friends. We're watching the fucking finals. once you have that thing that you needed.
You think you're seeing spirits?
I don't know if it's spirits, man. I really just think it's like the better part of humanity. And then you start interacting with people, and instead of like trying to survive the interaction, as most anxious people try to do when they're interacting with people, they're not looking at that person going, what does that person need out of this interaction? They're often going, what do I do to succeed in this interaction? Am I being funny enough? Am I being smart enough? Am I being intelligent enough? Like, how am I being perceived? They're all internal thoughts.
Yeah, it's not about service.
It's not about service. Once you're full, you start going, oh, this person's a little nervous. Well, let me make them feel more comfortable. Or, oh, this person wants me to listen, so let me just listen. Or they want me to laugh at their jokes. Okay, let me laugh at them.
But see, I think that's what happens when you tap into the divine in you. Right? Like they always say you can submit your will to God in you or your lower nature, which is commonly called the devil. But it's just like, when you look at somebody like Michael Jordan was a spirit. And he was able to tap into this spirit that literally filled up the whole fucking planet. And you would feel small next to that spirit, right? You would shrink next to that spirit unless you had the same kind of spirit. Because you got to have that same kind of spirit to recognize that. But if you don't have that same kind of spirit, it'll shrink you. That's what makes it so easy to win against you. Because you don't think you can beat me. But I know I can beat you. But you don't think you can beat me. You don't even think you're supposed to be here having this conversation with me. So when you sit there with Burning Man, I think that you're looking at people's spirits, bro. I really do. I think that you're not even looking at the human form of a person. You're looking at people's auras, their spirits, like literally the best part of folks that nobody can see. Like, I think that's the hardest thing for any of us to tap into, man. Y'all heard some wild shit this week, bro, that fucked me up. Salute to Debbie Brown. You know what I'm saying? My sister Debbie Brown, like, she was having this conversation with me, and she was talking about this psychic. And I went to go look at what this psychic said, and this psychic talked about how when Kobe Bryant passed away, his spirit and his consciousness walked everybody into the afterlife, and his spirit and his consciousness came back and observed, the wreckage, and he was so distraught. And I was like, I don't know if I believe this. I don't know if I believe this shit or not, but I'm just like, what does happen to your conscience after you die? So it took me down this whole rabbit hole of people who actually died, but they say the consciousness stays alive. So your consciousness is observing everything. Your consciousness realizes you died. That wouldn't freak you the fuck out?
Yeah. I mean, to be honest with you, that's what these billionaires are working on right now. They're working on trying to find a way to take your consciousness out of your body and download it on some sort of card so that you could insert it into another fake body, or so you could exist on the computer forever. I mean, the guy who is now a woman that started Sirius XM radio is downloading his wife's consciousness into a robot right now.
Really?
It's a crazy story. It's the most fascinating tranny in the world, this guy.
Really?
I would love to sit down. But it's really remarkable, and that's what people are trying to do. That's what they think the future is. They think the future is me and you get our complete consciousness decoded so it can be taken out of us. Because the only problem with our bodies, or the only problem with living forever, is your body starts to decay and wilt. They're like leaves, they can't be around for too long. Your bones get brittle, your heart starts to fail, your lungs, whatever happens. What if you could just renew all that shit?
Yeah, because your will and your spirit don't go anywhere. If anything, you get sharper. I mean, you learn more as you get older, and you experience more things, and you get more secure, you get more self-esteem, you get more confidence. You know what I'm saying? You start to, especially you start working on yourself, going to therapy, talking to sacred purpose coaches, whatever it is, you just start to become a better version of yourself. When people hear that, when people hear, oh, he's a better version of himself, it has nothing to do with physical. It has to do with all of this, baby, that mental and that fucking spiritual.
What do they say? A fish rots from the head down.
I thought they said that about vagina.
Wait a minute, let me think.
A fish rots from the head down. What does that mean?
No, but that's what they say, that they talk about organizations and shit like that, like the Cowboys. If you just cut off the head, if you cut off Jerry, then maybe the Cowboys organization will be good. Same thing with the Knicks. But I also think same thing with your body. It's if your brain is filled with these awful thoughts and you're constantly anxious and questioning yourself. Like, I don't think you're going to be in great physical shape either. I think the toll that takes on your mental is going to take its on his physical. I mean, look at Chris, man.
Chris who?
Chris Moreau.
Moreau? Chris, you got bad thoughts, Chris?
I don't think so.
See, Michael Jordan never thought about anything. It was a think with Michael. You ask Michael a fucking question, Michael give you a yes or no answer. Okay, if you said, Michael, you feel bad, Chris? Michael, fuck no, I feel great. You feel bad? You know, just go and get this fucking work. Okay? But that's your...
The thing with Michael, and it kind of gets back to what you're saying, is that, look, I've watched the NBA religiously for 40 years. There's no question he's the best player ever, not even close. It's ridiculous to even talk about it. Is he happier than LeBron? I doubt it. I mean, if you're the best player, everybody knows it, and at your Hall of Fame induction speech, you have to spend the majority of it settling old scores. That means you still don't feel validated, even though you're still the greatest of all time, according to everybody. So it's an interesting question, right? Like, is Jordan the greatest winner of all time? He's certainly a better winner than LeBron. It's not even up for debate. Is he a happier individual? I can't tell you that. My guess would be no.
You make a great point there, Chris, and I think it's something that we often get confused. Like, we see greatness, and we often think, like, greatness means that you won in life. But oftentimes, greatness is accompanied with misery, and it's that misery that drives you to greatness, right? So, like, who has enjoyed their life more? Probably LeBron, man, to be honest with you.
LeBron is not the happiest NBA player of all time.
No, but he's happier than Jordan.
Why do we say that, though?
Jordan's eyes are yellow.
They red.
They're not supposed to be.
Man, he's 60 years old and he does cognac and cigars every day religiously.
Well, maybe that's another thing we should look into.
And he never used to drink or smoke. He don't got shit else to do right now. Listen, I think Jordan, I don't have a problem with him. I don't look at that as insecurity because you're at a fucking Hall of Fame speech telling the fucking truth.
Listen,
if I look at my old high school coach and I say I keep bringing this story up because I want him to always know he made a fucking mistake, I don't have a problem with that. If Jerry Krause fucking fucked up the dynasty, I don't have a problem with him calling Jerry Krause out. If Byron Russell, the Hall of Fame speech where he said that Byron Russell said to him, he said it was a time they was playing baseball. No, Utah was in town when he was playing baseball. Karl Malone, John Stockton, and Byron Russell came to see him or some shit like that. And Byron was like, yo, you better be lucky you retired, because if you was on this motherfucking court with me right now, I would guard you and this and that, yada, yada, yada. I would shut you down, blah, blah, blah. So Michael said, when it came time for the NBA Finals, then he went up to Byron and he said, yo, you remember about a year ago when you motherfucking told me that if I was back on this court, you could guard me, you could shut me down? You about to get your chance now, motherfucker. What? That's his muse. That's his energy. That's his motivation. That don't mean he's insecure because he's calling that shit out and reminding motherfuckers of yo, you're actually giving them props. Byron, you were my influence, you stupid motherfucker. That's why you should have kept your fucking mouth shut when you were on the court with greatness. You don't gotta give me any reason to be good. You know I'm showing up. You don't rattle the fucking cage. They rattle the cage. So now they gotta hear that cage rattle for the rest of their life. I don't look at that as insecurity. I got plenty of motivation like that.
That's the motivation. That's the motivation that he needs, and he goes out there and he actually searches for that motivation. That being said, if you felt complete, if he felt complete, if he felt he didn't need to prove anything to the world, then he wouldn't do that.
No, I think sometimes you just gotta toot your own horn. Sometimes you gotta remind, he's not a rapper. He can't do it in songs. Like, we've never said Jay-Z's insecure. You know what I'm saying? Those guys tell you I'm the greatest, the best rapper alive. I do this better than you. Jordan only has interviews. He only has documentaries. He only has books to tell you. Shit, we didn't feel that way about Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali tell you he the motherfucking greatest all the time. You didn't say he was insecure.
Yeah, I think that people would say it. I think if you ask your therapist, I think a therapist would probably say, yeah, all these people have insecurities and they have extreme confidence or narcissism even. Like, 100%, if you need to scream at the top of your lungs that you're the greatest, right? You must not feel like people think you're the greatest,
I don't
and you
believe
value what they think.
I think you have to talk yourself into things, man. Like we
That
have
means you
all
don't believe it.
No, that's not true. It's just reinforcement. Listen,
Why do you need reinforcement?
in a world where you're always getting vocal negative reinforcement, what are you hearing in your head? The only counter to the negative reinforcement is to tell yourself, no, I am great. No, I am the best. No, I know I'm putting in more work than anybody. This motherfucker can't guard me. No, I know I can get in this ring and knock this motherfucker out. No, I know I can get on stage and tell these best jokes. Like, if people are always telling you who sucks, who's telling you that you're good? Yo, when you're a child, people pat you on the back and give you encouragement to go be the best. But as you become an adult, it's like that goes away and all you got is the negative shit. Who is going to tell you that you're great? You gotta tell yourself.
I think you're describing the most relatable feeling about this. And I think that's why we resonate, or these people resonate with us, right? And this type of behavior resonates. I love a chip on my shoulder. I love it when a motherfucker tells me I can't do some shit. I'm grateful. When I hear that shit, I am grateful.
Yes.
I love it if I hear somebody pop off or say some slick shit on Twitter or something like that, especially if it's one of my colleagues, one of my contemporaries. I love, they don't even know. But I'm digging their grave for it. They don't know it. I got the shovel. You know what I mean? There's a hole.
My dick's getting hard.
I'm ready to put you
My
in.
dick's getting hard.
You know what I'm saying?
My dick in that hole.
Shit, I put Tyrese and Casanova's dick in the
I love that shit, man. That shit gets me off. And guess what? I'm not gonna go back and forth with you on Twitter. I'm gonna show and prove through actions and deeds. You're gonna constantly keep seeing this fucking work. And there's nothing you can do about it. And when we're all said and done, 15, 20 years from now, when you look back, you're like, man, that motherfucker did everything I thought he wasn't gonna do.
Yes. Yes. And we all feel that way. That being said, if we were like some Zen Buddhist monks, me and you, and somebody said some dumb shit to us, we would probably be so like confident and fulfilled in what we need or not needing anything that we probably wouldn't even pay no mind. But here's the reality. At the end of the day, we are human. And things do affect us. And how we deal with those things that affect us differs from person to person. And we tend to resonate to the motherfuckers that go, all right, you affected me. And now I'm taking you down. Because that's the cost of affecting me.
That's why I love this. I love this conversation, man, because that's exactly what it is. You got to be able to channel that negative that's coming towards you. You got to be able to channel that hate from those doubters, that energy from those people who telling you that you can't succeed. How do you channel that? Some people internalize it, and that shit weighs them the fuck down, and they don't never fly. They never get to fly, they never get to soar, because they're weighed down by all that shit. Some people take that shit and just turn that shit into positive fuel in order for them to go out there and be great. Because, by the way, think about it like this. All of those people that's talking shit about you, that's because they don't feel like they can stop you any other fucking way.
100%.
That's all they can do. They can't do shit else to you. They can't beat you in the court. They can't beat you in the ring. They can't beat you on stage. There's nothing else they can do except to talk. That's it. That's it. Fuck that, man. Listen, man. Michael Jordan is the GOAT. We all needed a good dose of Michael Jordan during this fucking... We all needed this shit.
And I think we needed GOAT. I think we needed to put some respect on the word GOAT, because we were throwing goats around a lot.
Yes, throwing goats around like fucking Jamaicans. We throw them shit around too fucking much, man. We throw goats around too goddamn much.
We were throwing goats, and it's like each industry can have that GOAT, or you can have the GOAT of the time in which things are operating in. But we were throwing goats around like it was just like, yo, he's good. We were throwing goats around like goods.
I think it's goats, and I think it's God.
And Jordan is on God level.
Jordan is on God level, and that right there, that is very, very, very rare air. You can argue about who's the greatest of all time. You can put LeBron in that conversation. Kobe, like those guys are considered the greatest of all time, Hall of Famers, legendary. But we know who the gods are, bro. Ain't too many gods out here. That's just the truth to the matter. Ain't too many gods of their industry, gods of the game. Jordan is a god. Period. There's nothing like him. There's none before him, and I don't know if there's nothing to come, because that shit don't have nothing to do with talent. It's been plenty of people who physically have better builds than Michael Jordan, probably shoot better than Michael Jordan, but it's just something up here that will to win, that cerebralness, that spirit that they just don't have. They're not able to tap into that realm Jordan was able to tap into, man.
You know what it is? It's like there's very few people that work hard at shit that comes easy. You know, like I think that's what separated Jordan. It's like most guys that have a great dribble, they don't develop a jump shot because they have such a good dribble they can get to the basket whenever they want, and that's just how they develop their game. And most guys that shoot the ball really well don't really learn how to dribble because they're like, I'll just pull up and shoot in your face. Why do I need to dribble a fucking ball around? And Michael Jordan was one of these guys that he was great at both, and he still took the time to learn the game and execute the game and perfect the fucking game. You know, it's like, I don't know, it's the reason why, you know how like kids don't value money because they don't work for it? And like people who make money easy usually spend it frivolously. Like there's a lot of strippers out here that are broke right now because they made their money easy, so they just spend it easy because there's no value. But when you grind for fucking 10, 12 years to be where you are, every dollar you make is not the work you put in right then. It's the 10, 12 years that got you there that are like that will fulfill that money. You know what I'm saying?
I get it. I
don't spend my money frivolously because I know how long and like hard I had to work to get it. It's not just doing a podcast. It's the 10 years before a podcast.
Yeah, and not only that, you enjoy the process though. Like it's not.
Yeah.
You got plenty of people out here that do shit just for money. Like I don't do this podcast for money. I do this podcast because I genuinely enjoy coming here and kicking this shit with my guy every week. You know what I mean? I genuinely love what the fuck it is that I do. It just so happens that money happens to come with it. And that's usually what happens when you forget about the money and just enjoy the fucking process.
Why is that so hard for most people?
The people not really doing what they love to do. That's why.
Yeah,
You're doing what you think is profitable. You're doing what you think can make you some money. You're doing what you think can make you famous. You're not doing what you love to do. Because if you actually are doing what you love to do, it never feels like fucking work. And you just enjoy doing it so much that you become great at it. Next thing you know, people want to fucking pay you for it.
Yeah, it is weird. It's like hustling backwards or something. It's hard to sometimes like the tricks of life are like going backwards or like doing the opposite thing. Remember Ready Player One? Remember that movie Ready Player One?
Yeah.
Remember how like the way that he got the first coin or whatever was instead of driving forward with everybody, he like drove back.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's some things with life like you're feeling shitty, and instead of focusing on like what you need to do for yourself to feel good, if you just help other people, all of a sudden you just start feeling better. Right? And it's like the same thing with work. It's like instead of same thing with money. By literally not chasing money, you end up making money. Isn't that?
Absolutely.
It makes no sense, right?
It's stupid.
It's
dumb.
stupid. It's
But
stupid.
I really just think it's about finding something it is that you love to do. Because you gotta think, man, and you know, this goes kind of what everybody's experiencing right now, right? You know, when you're down, you're depressed, you know, when you're not doing what it is that you really want to do, right, it's hard to be enthused by anything. Once you're not enthused by anything, your will to win is gone. And you don't ever try to get yourself out of that situation. Like, yo, people talk about, you know, letting their dreams die. Yo, you let your dreams die because you started working this job to pay bills because you needed money. And in the process of paying those bills, you forgot to motherfucking continue to keep striving towards your dream.
Yeah.
And so you let that energy die. You let that will to do something greater than what it is you're doing die. And now you don't love what you do. And so now that shit reflects in everything you do. Because now you're just walking around angry, depressed, mad at the world, mad that you gotta be at this fucking job for 8 hours a day. And you keep having these daydreams, right? You keep having these daydreams. These things keep flashing in your mind about, you know, what you should be doing or what it is you really want to do. You understand when they say that's your dreams passing you by? That's literally what that is. Right. You are at a job right now, right? Or you're doing something that you really don't love, and that shit is bothering you every fucking day, and you keep having these daydreams about something that it is you want to do. That's your dreams fucking passing you by, bro.
Like, you have every opportunity right now while you're stuck in the house to chase all those dreams that you said that you wanted to chase, but you didn't have enough time. But you haven't done jack shit but watch Ozark and Friends reruns and Tiger King and tweeted the same bullshit you always tweet and meme the same bullshit you always meme. So when
The motherfucker tells me that they've watched all the Netflix, in my mind, I'm like, yo, you must be great. You must have accomplished everything you ever wanted to fucking accomplish, bro. You got time to watch all the Netflix.
because that's my last goal. My last goal in life is watching all of Netflix. I got a lot of other shit I need to accomplish before I get to all of Netflix.
All in Netflix? How much all in Netflix? You watched all the Netflix in 3 weeks?
I'm watching all the browsers before I'm watching all of Netflix.
What the fuck? Listen, man, let's pay some bills. That was the deep dive. I hope y'all learned something.
I love it. I absolutely love it. I got to pee, man. Can we pay those while I gotta take this message?
4Hims.com is your one-stop shop for hair loss, skincare, and sexual wellness for men. One thing I've been realizing, speaking to my dude Chico Bean does the hairline chronicles on Instagram. I actually flashed my hairline on there, and I've seen a lot of brothers who are dealing with, hair loss. They got receding hairlines, they got the George Jefferson shit going on, and a lot of them are like, fuck it, I'm gonna do something about this after this quarantine. So thanks to science, you know what I mean? You can do that. That's what 4Hims.com is for. It's your one-stop shop for hair loss, skincare, and sexual wellness for men. Okay, they offer well-known generic equivalents to name brand prescriptions and answer all your questions in a confidential chat. Once your medical history is overviewed, you're approved by a doctor. Products are shipped directly to your door. Okay, try Hims today by starting out with a free online visit. Go to 4Hims.com/idiots. That's FORHIMS.com/idiots. 4Hims.com/idiots. Prescription products are subject to doctor approval and require an online consultation with a physician who will determine if a prescription is appropriate. The website for full details and safety information. This could cost hundreds if you went in person to the doctor's office or pharmacy. Remember that it's FORHIMS.com/idiots. 4Hims.com/idiots. Now let's get back to the motherfucking shit. Oh, well, before we get back to the show, today's Brilliant Idiots is also brought to you by Clean Coats. Okay, man, you really need this right now because you cannot get your hand or keep your hand on cleaning products nowadays. But don't you think cleaning products make us feel more dirty? You know what I'm saying? Between the chemical formulas and plastic bottles, the traditional cleaning products are just a surprisingly messy business, all right? But Clean Coat makes natural cleaners actually clean, okay? With ingredients you can actually understand, with packaging that's actually landfill free. Those things are important because we're trying to fucking save the environment. Because if we don't save the environment, the earth is going to continue to rebel against us and get rid of its greatest parasite, which is us, the humans. But back to Clean Coat. Instead of wondering what is in your cleaning products, with Clean Coat, your kids and pets are safe with non-toxic coconut-based formulas. That smells good already. Don't you want your whole house smelling like coconut? Clean Coat is as effective as leading brands of detergent. You can get the same level of clean with none of the chemicals. Okay, go to cleancoat.com to get a customized starter kit, an adjustable paper-based refill delivery service that fits the needs of your home and lifestyle. You can finally break up with plastic because Clean Coat is the only company that puts soap in milk cartons. You heard me right. Soap is in milk cartons. Okay, they got the sleek, shatter-resistant evergreen glass bottles that reduce plastic waste and look gorgeous on your countertop. All right, you can get started with Clean Coat right now. Go to cleancoat.com/idiots for 25% off your first kit, but only until May 30th. All right, get 25% off your first kit now through May 30th at Clean Coat.
you